How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are looking at one here from IXO Models, well, the junior ones. So I don't know if it's like directed at kids. These are along the same quality lines of, I suppose, a D'Agostini Amacom sort of deal, because they do, I think, share molds and stuff like that, but they just come in a fancy box. But what we do have here is a Fiat G.55 Centauro or Centaur, and from what it does look like by the markings on there, it is an aircraft from the Italian Social Republic, the National Republican Air Force. Now, they controlled the northern part of Italy upon the invasion of Italy and Mussolini being overthrown. And during this time, Fiat was designing and producing one of the finest fighters that the Axis powers would actually operate. Put into production in 1943 as the new puppet regime was being set up in the north part of Italy. Now, the G.55 was powered by, I think, licensed copies of the Daimler-Benz engines, and they were armed with 20mm MG-151 cannons as well as 12.7mm MGs. However, only 275 aircraft would be produced during the war. Let's have a little look. So as you can see, it does look very similar to, like, the package-wise to how you do get your D'Agostini models and the Amacom and stuff. It does have a little decorative box of some ground underneath as well. And apart from that, you could be almost mistaken for thinking it is a D'Agostini one. It does open up, I'm hoping. Yep. So we'll open that up. Now, actually, Germany did consider producing them themselves as well as late as 1943 or late 1943. But the early production of these aircraft was about 15,000 man-hours per aircraft, compared to about 5,000 to assemble a Bf-109. So the Luftwaffe needed planes, so they opted out of starting to build these and just stuck with the 109s, of course. Now, obviously, you've got your landing gear options are there, and this sweet-looking aircraft, it actually looks really nice. Now, a lot of the times the panel lines are accentuated on these with the sort of the inking there. So in there you've got your instructions, I'm assuming, and a little stand and the accessories. We'll move that out of the way. We'll get to that in a moment. We'll have a quick squiz at the instructions, so we'll see what we've got to do. Yep, there we go. And pretty basic, as they usually are. So that's your instructions. Can't wait to set that up. All right, let's have a little look. Now, you do have to do a bit of assembly with these ones, actually. How about we actually quickly set it up for in-flight for you, so I don't take up too much of your time. We'll see how they sit in their spots. Sometimes they can be loose with these particular models, but they seem to fit nicely. It was held in with a bit of sticky in the packet, which is still stuck to that, unfortunately. The propeller does hopefully go on nicely, if we can find that hole. Yep, that doesn't spin 100%. The actual spinner itself's not too bad with the double color there. Now, you do have a tail wheel to put on, if we can pick it up. That's it. And put that in the hole. It's not as easy as it looks sometimes. It sits in there nicely. Now, interesting enough, you've got to put the cannons on. So, which these little bits, I'm not sure if they will stay on nicely. Let's have a little look. Yeah, I had my suspicion. I reckon you'll have to glue these on. I don't think they'll like staying. Oh, that one does. Maybe there's a specific side. I would assume that'd be the same either way, but why assume things? That one I'm going to have to glue in. I think I'll probably glue both those in so that at least are stuck in there. Oh, there you go. I mentioned about the gear bay doors dropping out. They do drop out. And the antenna in the back. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But look, that's how it's sort of going to look. We'll look at it that side. That's how it's going to look in flight. With the armament on the antenna, the propeller, and everything like that. It does look pretty cool, though, for a budgety sort of model. We'll zoom in and have a look at some of those camouflage details and the markings. It does look really nice. The overall build itself is not too bad. It's got some really nice details on the nose there, some exhaust markings there. The camouflage on it looks pretty cool. I don't mind it at all. There's no exact details explaining what squadron it's from or anything in the box or on the box or anything like that. But there's no pilot figure in these either. But the canopy details look really nice. Yeah, pretty damn cool, for sure. It's got some reasonable, like you can see some little rivets and everything there too, which is good. Now, for, you know, $20 or whatever, it was pretty cheap. Like, I got this for, I think, $25 or something, and which wasn't too bad. I got a couple of these off a website, so I thought, yeah, I'll grab some because they are usually of aircraft that are not very common. So obviously that's your stand. Stick it in the stand hole. They can be a bit awkward because trying to stick it there, and that's the mounting point obviously there. So we'll chuck that on the stand, and that is job done for you in flight. Minus a gun. We'll do it on that side like that. But I reckon it looks pretty cool for what it is. You don't have many options for a Fiat G.55. Pretty much this, or a Diecast equivalent. I don't think, no one else really does too many Italian aircraft in a diecast, which is a shame, really. That there is a lot of great Italian aircraft during World War II that unfortunately aren't being utilised by manufacturers. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll quickly throw some landing gear on this and chuck it on the scales. All right, we're back in a second. Alrighty, here we have it set up for gear down. It's pretty straightforward. You've got two little gear bay doors that you've got to put in on the inside, and then you've got your main wheels that you put on the outer points there. They slot straight in. Everything goes in pretty straightforward. And I glued the guns in the position, so hopefully they won't drop off now. And that is looking pretty cool. It does feel like it's got a little bit of heft to it, so we'll bring we'll bring our lucky scales in and have a little look. It will be one of those models. We hope that the landing gear holds the weight. Let's have a little look. All right. Oh, shit. Oh, straight away I could see that little bending. So, oh, God. As you can see, the landing gear is a little bit loose, and I've just lost the other one. Where the fuck's that gone? Sorry about that. It fell on the bloody floor. Let's try this again. This makes for a good bloody video, doesn't it? So as you can see, it's pretty loose. That's the unfortunate part. Let's just, fuck it, we'll just get a weight. So as you can see, it's 161 grams. The landing gear does not like to stay into position for gear down, which is a little bit unfortunate. That's just one of those things. Shit happens, doesn't it? But that's it looks nice enough though. There's not details in the wheel well or anything, but yeah, the model is reasonably weighty. But yeah, that landing gear I would recommend pushing freaking bloody hard into place. Yeah, it's got me buggered why they're not staying in. But yeah, if you're getting one of these and it does that, I would recommend gluing it into position maybe and having a bit of better luck. Yes, all right. Let's not touch it and we'll wind up the video like that. All right, I'll take some photos. I'll throw those at the end of the video, of course, like usual. If you want to check out some close-up photos of this, of course, without these grubby fingers all around it. Now, sausage finger test, it is sort of, I suppose, a 109-ish size. So if you did find the video helpful, of course, don't forget to throw some of those my way. Always feel free to drop a comment below, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button if you're one of those watching that have yet to do that. All right, everyone, thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate everyone that does a drop past. All right, happy hunting for your next model, of course, and you all have an awesome sauce rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.